So I am moving into my truck camper full time. I lived in this truck camper before. Last summer I was a campground host and I was stationary in a campground with full hookups. This time though I will be traveling full time and just staying in different locations. So truck camper living is going to look a little different. I do have a lot of things that I need to do in the truck camper to get it ready for full-time living. I'm hoping to leave tomorrow, first thing in the morning. I am not usually one to wait until the last minute, but I had so many road bumps and just things come up in terms of the truck camper and the truck needing maintenance and repairs. This has taken me a lot longer than I thought it would. We were hoping to leave 3.5 weeks ago and we've just been kind of stationary because we've needed some things that need to get worked on and they've just taken longer than we have expected. But now everything is done, there's no excuse. I'm gonna try to get it all done today and I figured I'd bring you along with me. If you're interested in learning more about this lifestyle and specifically my experience with it, I did just start a Substack, which is the same username handle as this channel, and I'll link it in the description of the video. It's completely free. I did not set up paid subscriptions because I don't know what people would pay me to read about my life anytime soon. So it's completely free. You can get some little 5-minute reads about just my experience with this. So far I've written about how I did not think that the, setting up of van life or truck camper living would take as long as it has. I did not realize that a lot of the roadblocks really do inhibit your ability to progress. So that's just what I've been kind of writing about lately, but I hope to, as we travel, talk about some of the places we go and the actual living and working out of a small space. Just kind of talking about those experiences, so you're welcome to subscribe to that. And if you are interested in hearing about why this has taken so long and just kind of been really stressful on us, I will rant about that right now. If you're kind of like, I just want to see you get your truck camper ready, no hard feelings, you can go ahead and skip to the timestamp that I put here on the screen. Okay, so basically, about 8 weeks ago we noticed that our truck's horn wasn't working anymore and we took it to a Ford dealership, to which they said, hey, we think you might have a leak somewhere, your electrical system looks a little rusty. The overall quote was larger than we had expected, and this was out east, and we have a mechanic who is based out of Omaha that we love. So we texted him and we were like, hey, we just got this quote, is this something you can do? And he was like, yes, definitely. So we were like, okay. We declined the work getting done with the dealership. We said, no, we're gonna take it somewhere else. And then about 4 weeks ago, we finally made it out to Omaha and we reached out to this mechanic. Not only did we want to get this electrical work addressed, but we also just hit 100,000 miles, so we needed a coolant flush. And then in addition to that, we bought a DC to DC charging kit, which basically charges your camper's battery by the alternator and battery system of your truck, so that way when you're driving, you can actually top off your battery. So we wanted to get that installed as well. We reached out to our mechanic and we were like, hey, we need all of these things done. When can we schedule a time to meet with you? And unfortunately he had a lot of just personal stuff and life happening, so things got pushed back and canceled a couple times. Once we started really getting into the nitty-gritty of the electrical work specifically, he was like, shoot, actually I can't do that. You do need to go to a dealership for that. So we went out to a dealership in Omaha, and I am assuming that in the time that we went from dealership 1 to this dealership 2, the spring rains just kind of made everything worse, because this dealership was like, hey, you have a leak in your windshield that you need to get fixed ASAP. You have a ton of electrical damage and we need to get this replaced like now. And the quote ended up being a lot bigger than it was with dealer 1. We were, kind of stuck. There wasn't really any other options besides to get it fixed here. So we did that, and that took about 1.5 weeks of work with the dealership. And then we had to get our windshield replaced, and that was really frustrating because we just bought this truck. This truck is a 2022. We bought it at a dealership back in November. We had had it for about 6 months. Thinking about your windshield potentially having a leak and being not installed correctly is not something that you're thinking of when you just buy a relatively new vehicle, but that was the case for us. So we took it to Omaha Glass Pros. Did not know anything about this place, just really wanted somebody to address the leak for us, and they were incredible. If you're ever in the Omaha area and need your windshield tended to, go there. So I will admit I was a little nervous at first because we were sitting in the waiting room and the guy who was working on our windshield, he comes out and he's like, "Why do you think there's a leak? Can you tell me more about this? Because I'm not seeing one." And I was like, oh my goodness, what if they don't find anything? We've been going around to all of these different dealerships and mechanics and windshield repairers now, just trying to find somebody to help us, and if they can't figure it out, who's to say? I was in my head a little worried that they might be like, "Oh, we think we got it." If they can't find a leak, they may just do an overall patch up and hope for the best. That's what I was really worried was going to happen if they couldn't find this leak. And the worker, after we talked to him about basically all the work that we had done with the dealership, he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna try this thing, I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna take a look at, X, Y, and Z." He was really just troubleshooting a whole bunch of different things to help us figure out what exactly was going on. Eventually he was like, "Oh gosh, I found it. Whoever did this job did a terrible job. They cut chunks of metal from your truck. They did what they had to do. It was only $150. Other places were genuinely quoting us $400 to $800 for the same work. I told the guy verbatim, "You saved us." And when we ended up finally being able to schedule something with our mechanic, it was the spark plugs and the DC to DC charging kit. And our mechanic specifically works with trucks and vehicles, not really the camper RV side of things. So it ended up just not working out in the way that we anticipated. We did need to get an RV tech to handle that side of things and move some stuff around and just make sure everything was good to go on the RV truck camper side of the rig. So in scheduling all of that, what we were hoping would be a 1 to 2 week stay in Omaha ended up being over 4 weeks. And it was definitely really hard because, you can't estimate how long one person or one business is going to take on a particular job, so then you can't really plan out the next one. We had to really just give our home to this business to let it sit there until they took care of it, and then find another person to take our home for a few days and work on it. And that was all definitely very stressful, definitely something that I see people talk about online in regard to van life, but I just never really, you're not in it until you're in it and you're like, oh wow, that actually is not very fun and is kind of stressful. But here we are, I'm very excited, and I honestly think everything worked in the way that it was supposed to. We were really hoping to go see Colorado first, and the weather was pretty iffy a few weeks ago. I think they did get a little bit of snow in the areas that we were hoping to visit, and now it's actually decent weather, so we'll be able to camp there. So I'm excited! Today I need to do a complete deep clean because while I did a deep clean before we came out to Omaha, having mechanics and people just moving things in and out of the camper, drilling holes into different places, it is dirty. And we have a ton of stuff just thrown around because we needed to clear some of the cabinets. It's just a mess. It's a mess. I don't even really know where I'm going to begin, to be honest, so you can just kind of watch and follow along. After several hours of going through all of our clothes and then washing the clothes that we decided we were going to keep, this is everything that's going to come with us to live on the road. So that bag is Jack's, that's Jack's, that right there is Jack's, that's mine, this is mine, this is mine, and then these two jackets are mine. We definitely thinned out a lot, and I'm really impressed by how we were able to cut some stuff out. Basically, I'm just gonna clean everything from top to bottom, so I'm starting with our bedroom. Okay, I got hot, so I changed. To be, or be adjacent friend. news is all I have to clean are the floors. The bad news is the floors are the dirtiest thing in the camper. And what's worse is since these are peel and stick tiles, I have to clean them all by hand. So I'm going to scrub each tile with a soap mixture, basically until I can scrub all of this stuff off. So wish me luck. Okay, so I just finished cleaning up. I think I'm gonna work on a couple DIY projects before I start actually unloading things into the camper. We're currently getting this temperature and humidity station set up. I have some macrame fruit hangers that I also want to get put up, and I need to repair a part of our screen door, so I'm gonna get started on those. Okay, now that all of that is done, I'm actually going to start unpacking and getting everything where it needs to be. Good morning, it's the next day. We threw everything in the truck and headed out. We're stationed right now at a gas station, just filling our tank up before we officially get on the road. I'm so excited. Woke up a little later than we had hoped, obviously. Should have seen that coming. So we just threw all of our bags in the camper and we're gonna unpack and kind of get everything sorted out once we actually get to camp tonight. Okay, so we just got to a Love's. I'm not sure if we can park here for the night. We haven't asked yet. Before we do that, I have some stuff that I need to get put up, and our DC to DC charging kit is having some issues, so we're trying to troubleshoot that right now. Okay, so we did check with the staff at Love's, and you actually have to park in a designated area to avoid getting towed, so we just moved. I have a headache, so I'm feeling kind of sad about that, and my dog threw up on our floor and on our little rug, so I had to clean that. Very exciting, very fun first start to van life, but I'm gonna make dinner now. I'm just doing some sandwiches and a Caesar salad mix. I have fish wife, sardines and olive oil. I'm eating the salad, and then I made Jack a sandwich and he got part of the salad. Girl dinner.
Are you gonna snitch on Rocky in your video and say he threw up everywhere?
I
promise he's a very nice boy usually.
I casually brought it up, yeah. I think he just drank his water too fast and just no warning, no nothing, all over our rug. I'm not feeling great, so I'm just gonna hang out here and try to get to bed early, so I will see you guys tomorrow.
What am I supposed to say? What's my line? Hold the camera steady. It's like shaking all around.
What? Rocky
needs pet. Yeah, he's demanding pets. Good boy. We had a interesting first night. You know, we got here in one piece. Let's not take that for granted. We had some issues with our DC to DC charger that we got set up. It's not really charging like we were hoping it would. It's only giving us 1 amp. We had 2 different people work on this. It still doesn't work. So we need to get that figured out. Once we got here, we probably didn't realize the lack of camping available this close to the city, which is kind of on us. So we ended up just staying at a Love's Travel Stop tonight, which was fine. We got here early enough to where we got a spot, so that wasn't really too much of an issue. But right when we got here, our dog had a bit of an accident, threw up absolutely everywhere. Really gross. So that was a great way to welcome us in. It was really loud out, but we were so exhausted, honestly, it didn't really matter. We were able to sleep through it. I was able to sleep through it. Abby said she woke up several times. So yeah, that's how our first night went. It's only up from here.
Okay, we just got to Boulder. I am way too nervous to film with the camera, so I'm gonna bring my phone and show you around. the lake or the reservoir, whatever that is.
All those like red tile roof ones kind of on the bottom left. I think that's all like the campus.
Oh, very cool.
All what their buildings look like.
Okay, we just finished our hike. We're gonna head to our campsite. Alright, so the campsite that we were hoping to stay at, I'd done a lot of research. I was really trying to dig and try and find something that was, one, really close to Boulder. I didn't want to drive more than 30 minutes, and I also didn't really want something that was very high in elevation. I didn't want it up in the mountains. Just because it is kind of on that shoulder season, so I figured if we went higher in elevation it would be pretty cold, and I don't want to camp in that kind of weather right now. We got to our campsite, or our alleged campsite, and there was no motorized vehicle access right now. There was just a biking trail that was open. It can be kind of hard, especially in this shoulder season, to figure out what is actually open, especially since they just kind of play it by ear for some of these. So we left Boulder and ended up at another Love's parking lot. We're very hungry. We're gonna cook some steaks and just get settled in. I'm on salad making duty.
Fuck.
Jack, we're ducked.
We're trucked.
Very easy. Look at how kind Jack is. He's cutting up my steak for me. It also works so that we don't have to use a second knife.
Less dishes.
Here's my plate.
Yeah, really good.
That's really good. Okay, I'm trying to be kind of quiet because I do have all of my windows open. I just cleaned up and I put my jammies on, and I've had a little tickle in my throat all day, so I'm gonna make some tea.
This place is very interesting.
It's actually not that much if you're like, whoa, that was a lot. Cheers. Alright, I'm sure you can hear Jack brushing his teeth. I'm gonna sip on this and get ready for bed. Thank you so much for accompanying us. If you did like this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe so that you can stay up to date with more of our videos, and I'll see you for the next adventure.